Okay, this is part 2 of my ghost adventures. Oh my god, I just got the giggles. Okay, why am I giggling? This is bad. Hang on. Okay. I think I forgot to even do my intro. Hey guys, it's Nikki, and, I made a video about an experience with a little ghost girl, named Annie, and now this is going to be my experience with what can only be described as a demon, I guess. But it didn't feel like the biblical kind of demons from hell. It felt more like just a big, bad mass of bad energy. So, basically this thing followed me around for, oh god, I don't even know. I think I was 10 when I first felt it. And it wasn't very strong, but it was strong enough to make a 10-year-old scared. We moved around a little bit, and then we finally ended up in our trailer, where this thing scared me every night. I know you might be thinking that it's like, classic 10-year-old kid, scared, hides under the covers, monsters under my bed. First of all, it was never under my bed. And sometimes it wasn't even there, but it just kind of like seeped into whatever room I was in. I remember once when I was 11, we were in a motel, and my mom had sent me into the bedroom to get a hairbrush, and I went in there, and I had went from, in the living room, everything's fine and clean and light, and then I went into the bedroom, and I had this feeling of such fear, dread. I thought I might die. I was so scared. I just looked at the door, and I was like, I didn't want to leave the door, because I was scared that if I left the door, it was going to close somehow, and I wasn't going to get out. So I flew. I literally flew. I jumped on one of the beds, and I jumped 12 feet to the other side of the room. I'm not joking. That room was like 12 feet long, and I cleared the whole thing in one jump. I was only 11. I grabbed the hairbrush, I did it again, and I left that room, and I shut it myself, because nothing was going to follow me into the living room. I had no idea what was going on, but I was just scared. Maybe I watched too many ghost stories at the time, I don't know, but it was that kind of cold and hot, frozen, heart pounding so hard you can't make yourself move feeling of fear. And I had to deal with it every freaking night. My mom said that my mom called it a spiritual vampire, but when I looked it up, it didn't really give good descriptions for what I was feeling, other than the fact that it felt like a vampire sucking everything out of you. So yeah, this thing didn't really have a color, didn't really have a physical form, like you could be standing in the same place that it was, and the only thing you would be feeling is the most terror, just terror, just get out of here now, or you're gonna die kind of terror. Not terror like, oh, I think there's a monster under my bed. Little kid, cover up your head and you're fine. And terror like, you can't sleep through the night because this thing is just so overwhelming. But anyway, so yeah, the time that I want to get to is when I was 16? 16, what an eventful year for me. I was either 16 or 17. No, I was 16. I remember now. Definitely 16. Me and my brother had a bunk bed, and I slept on the top bunk. No, I want to say this first. He felt this thing too. He never felt like it was after him, though. He just always felt that it was there. My mom tried to teach us to, like, put up some kind of spiritual barrier between ourselves and, like, imagine, like, a bubble or a flower or some kind of barrier just repelling it and telling it, you're not allowed to be here, go. And it was so strong that I couldn't fight it. Excuse me. Hey, it's a new burping video. God. Okay, so anyway, this one night, I had a dream. I always dream pretty clearly, pretty realistically, aside from the fact that, like, people turn into owls and, like, Morgan Freeman randomly shows up and, all kinds of really weird crap happens in my dream. I was a monster one time, and I'm pretty sure it was in, like, the Nazi area. I mean, the World War II time. I don't really know, except we were in Afghanistan, and I was a monster, and there was an orphanage, and I was also a kid. Okay, this is not supposed to be about that dream. This is about this one dream that I had that was the strangest, most different from any other kind of dream I ever had. I don't usually lucid dream. I can kind of control myself, but I also kind of go with the flow. In this dream, it was unlike anything. I can't even describe it, but I'm just going to try to. So, what I remember is I was in, like, this long cavern tunnel-like area, and it was like an alien world, honestly. It was, I could say it was rocky, but it was unlike any kind of cave you could ever imagine, and there was no sky. But there was no roof either. It was just like this other realm. I really don't know how to describe it, but anyway, these things that didn't have arms, and also, again, didn't really exist. It was like I was technically the only person there, and it was like these things that they had a hold of me somehow. And, like, if I looked with my eyes, there was nothing standing there. But if I looked with, I bet I know how I can describe it, kind of. People say to see with your third eye. If you know what that means, that's kind of how it felt. If you looked with your two real eyes, you wouldn't see anything. But if you looked the other way, I don't know, you would know that there was something there. And they were, like, pulling and dragging me through this long kind of tunnel-like area, and it was completely dark, and there wasn't really fire, but there was, like, heat around me, and it was like how fire makes heat in a certain area, and, like, that heat was there without the fire. I don't know. But yeah, finally they threw me into this big area that was like a cave, and it had these big giant spike things and these, like, ledges, kind of. There was no buildings. It wasn't anything human at all. Even if you ever played the game Half-Life, even Half-Life doesn't describe it. It wasn't even like anything from that game. It was unlike anything that I could have possibly dreamt up, because I don't dream like that. When I have nightmares, it's like I'm running from people or, like, spiders or something like that. This was not a nightmare. This was like I had been transported. My mouth is so dry right now. I don't usually talk this much. But yeah, it was like I had been transported to a different world, and there was the thing that had been plaguing me, and it didn't have a name, didn't have a body. It was just kind of there, and I just kind of knew what it was and what it wanted. It was kind of like if you've ever looked at somebody and, like, they gave you this look, and you knew what they were thinking or what they wanted or what they were about to do. Maybe it was funny, maybe they were going to get some kind of food, you're like, here, I'll make it, just random things. You ever looked at somebody and you knew what they were thinking? It was like I looked at it, and I knew what it wanted, and I knew who/what it was, and I knew what it was going to try to do. It wanted my soul. That's very clear. That's like the easiest thing the easiest thing I could explain is that the demon thingy wanted my soul, and we went into kind of like not a battle. It wasn't a physical punch, run away, get away from this thing fight. It was kind of like willpower. Like, I couldn't move. I didn't move. Hang on. Okay, guys. Sorry. I forgot where I was. He wanted to come in here. Yeah. Okay. So, what was I saying? Yeah. Basically, I was just there. And... What? Well, don't put it on you then. It's not even hardly sticky. It was like a battle of just willpower. Like, it was like, I'm gonna take your soul. And, like, it tried to suck my soul away from me, I guess. You want out? And I was just like, no, you're not. And some part of me just knew that if I didn't win this fight, I wasn't gonna wake up. I asked someone, if you've ever had a dream and you were scared that you were going to die in real life. I've actually asked this to several people, and nobody ever says yes. They always say, no, I usually wake up before I die. Or, yeah, Kaden, come on. Why you always do that? Basically, nobody ever seems to get worried that their dreams are going to kill them, but I knew for sure that this thing was going to kill me if I didn't somehow get away. And like I said, there was no run away from it. The only way that I was going to get away was basically to bore this thing or fight so hard that they gave up. And that's what I do. And there was like no ending to the dream where I walked away free and safe. And it was just like, get out of here, God. Am I supposed to be mad at you when you're nice to me? I see the tape on your leg.
No.
Okay, can I talk now? No? You said no? Okay, so, yeah, there was no real ending to this dream. It was just like, I won, and then I woke up. Okay, if you're gonna be like this, you gotta get out.
No.
Yeah, so... Man, I hate getting interrupted, because then I can't keep clear thoughts. So this thing basically just, you gave up. I don't know how to explain the feeling of feeling like your soul is being stolen from you. It's just not an explainable thing. But yeah, it was just like, okay, I won the fight, and I just knew it, and then I woke up. And that was it. I was just like, and usually whenever I'm sleeping or dreaming, even if I have a bad dream, I won't get up. I'll just be like awake and my eyes are closed, and I'm like, okay, trying to go back to sleep to have another dream. But this dream, when I woke up, my heart was pounding so fast. The only time my heart ever beats like that is when I am dancing, hard dancing, not like really going on it for hours and giving everything dancing. I once took my, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, I measured my beats per minute, and it was 186, and that was the fastest I could ever get it to go. That's trash. And that night, whenever I woke up, it was going like that. It was well over 100. It was so hard and so fast, and I immediately opened my eyes. I didn't go from kind of groggy. I was awake instantly, and that thing was in there, and then it slowly just left, and it wasn't in there anymore. For the first time ever, I made the thing go away. I never made that thing go away. I had been trying for years. It never left me alone, and then it did. And then my mom started having weird experiences where, she'd be sleeping in the living room with Kaden, and somebody would point the air conditioner a different way, sit on the bed, rub her back, and she'd just, think that it was my dad. When she woke up, or when she got up, rather, she'd look around, my dad wasn't there. Don't flush the toilet. But yeah. Obviously, I won the fight, and I lived, and I've got no doubt in my mind that if I would not have won that, I would not have woken up. I would have died. God knows what they would have called. They would have said died of natural causes. I don't know what they would have said. it was weird. The scarier idea is not what would have happened if I would have died. The scarier idea is, where was I going to go? If it stole my soul, where was my soul going to go? Was it going to eat my soul? I don't know. I think, honestly, it was going to absorb my soul, so technically I would still be around, but... No, not by yet. By almost. I'd still be around, but in it. Okay, I think I might be making more videos about this, because I've got a lot of these kind of stories to tell. But that was incredibly long. Alright, he's putting that thing on my head. So, yeah, that thing never fully left us. Like, I would still feel it around occasionally, but it never attacked like that again. From then on, I was actually able to, like, stand up to it and be like, no, you're not gonna get me, you're not gonna scare me, because I know for a fact now I'm stronger than you, and it just kind of left me alone, and it went after my mom and my brother. But we left, and it didn't follow us for some reason. Before, it had followed me from, let's see, a motel, my grandfather's place, back to that motel, and then to that trailer. So it followed me through moving at least 3 different times, and then after we moved, it was gone. So, no longer living with that thing anymore. Thank goodness. And, yeah, I never named it, because I hated it so bad. I thought naming it would give it more power. Why are you